Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking about a really big pen, and that is the Pelikan M800. Specifically, this one is the Renaissance Brown. It's a limited edition from 2017. The Pelikan M800 is a pen that was introduced in 1987. They first brought out the version, the green stripe version. Later on they brought out a black one, and they eventually brought out the tortoise brown, which people loved. And Pelikan calls this their first oversized pen. I would say I agree with them. This pen is big. I used to have two M800s. I sold my Ocean Swirl, not because I didn't like it. I really love the finish on that pen, but one, this pen is too big for me. That's the main reason that I don't really use it, and I sold the Ocean Swirl. And then two, my fiance also has an Ocean Swirl. So we would have two copies of the same pen, and it's an expensive pen, and since I don't really use it very often, I thought it would be best to just sell it. I kept this one because my fiance loves this finish, and I just might steal the Ocean Swirl now and then. It's not a pen that I really can use a lot. It's not my preferred Pelikan size. I'm gonna give you a writing sample of this pen. We're gonna take a close-up look. Of course, this is an old limited edition, but they are still available. I think I paid $3.90 for it. I think it's more expensive now. It's a really expensive pen. It has a nice big nib though. Makes me happy. So close up, writing sample. I am gonna compare a little bit to other models, but I've already done a Pelikan size comparison video. I'll link that below. So if you want a comparison video with all the different Pelikan sizes that I have, you can watch that. So let's just take a close-up look at this pen and switch to shot. Okay, here we have a more close-up shot of the Renaissance Brown, which is like a flecked brown finish. In reality, it's a little bit lighter than it's showing up right now. It's more warm toned, but you can see how pretty it is. It has gold hardware. This is an M800, not an 805. Has that classic Pelikan beak clip. The Pelikans in gold, and it says Pelikan Germany, Pelikan Souverain Germany on the cap band. This is, I wouldn't say monster of a pen, but it's really big. I'll show you how big it is when I write with it in a second. First, I want to focus on the cap. As you can see, there's some translucency here. If I take the cap off, you can really see how translucent that material actually is. This is not something you see that on the body because, of course, the material is, I think it's thicker, and also there's ink in this, so it would be harder to see. Yeah. Piston knob is fully black, and the grip section is also fully black. So that might be a downside for you, that the finish is not all the way around. But I kind of like that. There's a difference. This is a really nice big Pelikan nib. I have a medium nib on this. As you can see, it is inked. This is not the most smooth Pelikan nib I've ever used. I might consider getting some work on it. It's nice, but it's not the best that I've used, even though it's one of the more expensive Pelikans that I own. If you look at this pen next to other Pelikans, you can see how big it actually is. So my preferred size is this. This is a 600, M600, the violet, and it is not small by any means, but it is quite a bit smaller than the 800. And it's not just the length. The 800 is very, very heavy. It's much heavier than the 600, and it feels girthier. I've not done actual measurements, but it feels really girthy. And I think the grip section is definitely thicker. If you have them like this, you can see that the length is not really that different, but the grip section on the 600 is not as thick, and it is not as heavy. It also sports a smaller nib, of course, but it's still really lovely. And this, because it's lighter and not as thick, is my preferred size. I don't post these pens. You can. It's fine if you post them, but I don't like doing it. This one, it does stick out more somehow. And it's just thick and heavy for me. So it's gorgeous, but does not get a lot of use. To make this sort of complete, I don't want to do full comparison, but I do want to give you like an overview of what it looks like to other Pelikans a little bit. This is a 200. This is a very light pen compared to the 600. And as you can see, the grip is much thinner, the nib is much smaller, and it is slightly shorter than the M800. Slightly. That difference is not that big. So the length doesn't vary very much. It's mostly just the girth of it. Anyway, it's a lovely pen. It's a lovely nib. And of course I'll do a writing sample with it. Kind of forgot what ink was in here. Pelikan. So I had it uncapped for a little bit. Needs to start up. Okay. Pelikan M800. 2017 special edition or limit. I don't know if it's a limited edition or a special edition. This is a medium nib. And this ink is Ackerman. I cannot write today, guys. Ackerman Simplistes Violets. I think this is basically the same ink as Diamine Imperial Purple, so if you want that, it's cheaper. Doesn't come in the cool bottle. So what I've experienced with this nib, it's a medium nib. I think I would say it's a little broad for medium, but it also feels a little stubby. Side strokes are slightly thinner than the downstrokes. I don't hate it, but if you don't like that, maybe get a fine nib. I think all the broader Pelikan nibs have this stubbiness. This is not a nib that I would push too much. One, I'm scared to push this, right? These nibs are not cheap. Two, it's not meant to be a flexi pen at all. You do get a thicker line if you push it a little bit. It's not meant to be used that way, so do that at your own risk. So please don't. So all in all, it's a nice pen. And it's okay to write with. I have been journaling with it for a little bit, but I squeeze this pen because it's thick, and it's just a little too heavy for me. But yeah, M800s are lovely, and there are some lovely finishes to be found. Okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions about any of these pens that are in the video, please let me know. I will answer them in the comments. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.